Good morning, everybody. We will now begin our presentation. Sergeant Hodge, please present the class. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I ask that you all please rise as the Metro Transit Police Department Honor Guard presents the colors. Those in uniform, please place your hands over your heart during the presentation. Please remain standing and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order.
Thank you.
Ready? Cut. Blackbirds. Ready? Step. Ready? Post. Ready? Step.
Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lieutenant Sheffield, Commander of the Training Division. It is my pleasure to serve as your host for today's graduation and recognition ceremony. On behalf of Chief Michael Anzalo, the officials, and members of the Metro Transit Police Department, I welcome you to the graduation for the 127th Metro Transit Police Recruit Class. As we begin today, I would like to introduce our seated attendees. General Manager of WMATA, Mr. Randy Clark, Chief of the Metro Transit Police, Michael Anzalo, our guest speaker, Inspector General of the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, Ms. Michelle Zamarin, Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Brian Dwyer, Deputy Chief of Homeland Security Intelligence and Investigation Bureau, Daniel Alvarez, Fraternal Order of Police, Colin Doherty, Deputy Chief of the Special Operations Bureau, Maurice McKinney, Miss Shonda Lewis, Director of the Community Service Bureau, and Mr. Tom McGuire, Director of Security and Infrastructure and Protection. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Chief of the Metro Transit Police Department, Chief Michael Anzalo.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Class 127. Good morning, sir. All right, can you guys make it for another 30 minutes? All right, you'll be ready, okay? Now, I want to welcome everybody here today. I do want to thank the General Manager, Mr. Clark, and Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Dwyer, and Inspector General, Ms. Zamarin, for being here today, as well as the command staff. Friends and family, the training staff, I want to congratulate you again on a fine class, and and for Ms. Ray and Mira Demisi for setting all this up today. So definitely appreciate you all doing that. Yeah, just a couple of things here at Metro. So this is actually an inaugural, well, the end of an era, I guess I should say. So this is the last class that had to go through Northern Virginia Training Academy. So one of the things that Mr. Clark, he's been here for a little over 2 years now. One of the things he's helped us do, among many other things, was to get out of Northern Virginia and to run our own police academy. So since 1976, we've been going to Northern Virginia. Now, in 2024, now we're running our own police academy class. So that's a big accomplishment, for everybody here on the police department. So just wanted to mention that. The other thing, too, since, we've gotten a lot of support, I think, police chiefs gauge their support on a lot of things, but, really what I gauge our support on is budget-wise. So, Metro's had some tough budget times, but, Mr. Clark and Mr. Dwyer both have left our budget pretty much intact. And it's been tough for them, but, it's really paid off. Since they've both gotten here, along with the membership, with the FOP, our good working relationship with Colin Doherty, and I see Brandon over there, and the men and women of the police department, we've accomplished quite a few things, here recently, and really since Mr. Clark's gotten here. He formed a crisis intervention team. These are clinicians that work for Ms. Shonda Lewis that go out into the field every day and deal with people that have, mental problems, homelessness, and drug addiction. They've contacted over 10,000 of these folks trying to get them into services. Then the other thing, too, under Ms. Lewis's shop, they've run community services and outreach with youth. They've done over 300, I'm probably coming up a little short, but over 300 events the past year or so, dealing with outreach, within the community. The other thing that Mr. Clark has been, and the board has supported us on, back in 2019, the District of Columbia decriminalized fare evasion. We actually got that back and through a lot of hard work through Mr. Clark and the board with this DC City Council to, come up with a reasonable law as far as fare evasion. And it's civil still in the district, but you have to cooperate with the citation process. And if you don't, then you'll get arrested. So that was big for us to get that back as, one tool in our toolbox to help fight crime. You know, the other thing that Mr. Clark and Mr. Dwyer have accomplished, so we've done a little bit outside of the box thinking as far as safety is concerned. And, you know, we've entered into agreements with outside agencies like the Metropolitan Police Department, Alexandria Police Department, Arlington Police Department, Greenbelt, and the town of Cheverly to police some of the stations that are there in jurisdictions along with us. The other thing we've gotten in addition to our officers and support was we've hired private security guards to patrol some of the platforms and the trains in the station. And I'll tie this all up. I know I'm kind of going a little long here. You know, the other thing that has been accomplished since they've been here is we've established a Metro Integrated Command Center, which is our Metro's centralized communications point. And that's huge because, you know, we go all the way from Loudoun County in Virginia, you know, all the way down south to Branch Avenue and Prince George's County, up north to Shady Grove. I mean, we cover a lot of territory here at Metro. You know, it's an expansive system, and having an integrated command system where video plays a key role, it really helps out public safety, you know. And, you know, when you also look at it too, some of our partner agencies, you know, with terrorism and crime, we also partner with the Metropolitan Police Department, the Real-Time Crime Center. It's a crime center where crimes happen. They utilize our cameras. We get to utilize theirs. We get their communications, and we're able to make apprehensions on people who commit crimes, you know, in the region. You know, the other thing we've geared up for, you know, terrorism is always at the forefront of our mind. You know, we have K-9 teams and SWAT teams that have been reinstituted since Mr. Clark and Mr. Dwyer have been here. We have civil disturbance training. Some of you have been through it, you know, that we're reinstituting based on there's cycles that happen in the region, and we're in one of those up cycles where, you know, because of world events, we're seeing a lot more mass demonstrations. So our civil disturbance team is up and trained. You know, it took quite an undertaking, but definitely appreciate that going. We've also implemented a body-worn camera program, so all the officers that are on the street have a body-worn camera that helps, one, you know, for our cases, it makes it you know, better documentation, and also, you know, it enables us to cut down on complaints about our officers. So with everything that's going on, I just mentioned a few things. There's no one silver bullet when it comes to crime. You know, it's a bunch of these things together that actually lower crime. And so far, it's worked. You know, we're down 30% in crime compared to where we were last year. Our enforcement's up 100%. And our officers and detectives do a fantastic job. And just to let you know about, I know clearance rates is probably a dry topic, but, you know, that's sort of what the bread and butter for detectives and officers. So with working as a team, you know, community, policing, you know, management, what we're able to do is, so if you look at the national clearance rates for murder, it's 57% nationally for 2023. The clearance rate here at Metro for the detectives and the police officers, we closed all our cases 100%. You know, you look at aggravated assault, it was 41% nationally. And then here at Metro, we closed 65% of those cases. In rape, unfortunately, nationally, it's 26%, which is quite a bit lower than it has been in past years that I remember. But here at Metro, MTPD, it's 71% clearance rate. And then this is the big one, robbery, 27% nationally. And then here with MTPD, it's 53%. So your chance of committing, well, if you commit a crime on Metro, like the general manager likes to say, then you're going to get caught, and these numbers bear that out. And this is what this class will be stepping into. You know, it's a good career, it's a good police department, some of the greatest people I've worked with, but our bread and butter is we have to keep people safe, and we have to make sure that people who commit crimes are held accountable. So with that, you know, I'd like to first introduce our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Dwyer. He's got over, well, I'll give him a break. He's got over 35 years experience in the transit industry. I could say 40, but I'm not going to. All right. But he is a big supporter of us, and definitely appreciate his leadership along with Mr. Clark being here. So, sir, Mr. Dwyer.
Chief, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. I think everybody could have told how long I was in the industry based on the great hair, but that's fine. Thank you, Chief. I appreciate that. So first and foremost, really want to welcome the families here today. These are always beautifully well-done graduation ceremonies, but to see the families of the new officers here, you know, calling out names when they walk through or pointing out Dad, it just warms your heart. And I want to guarantee you on behalf of the general manager, the chief, and the rest of the command staff that these are your family members. They're now becoming our family members. And we will do everything possible to keep them safe and give them good employment while they're here. So you have our guarantee on that. I want to congratulate all of you for making it through the academy. There are literally hundreds of years of experience that have gone into what you've learned there. Please do all you can to remember what you've been trained on. Obviously, work and training can be a little different, but try to avoid the bad habits that sometimes can creep into anybody's day. You'll only be new once. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Question everything and get as much advice and information from experienced people you can here. Challenge yourself. Make this career you want, your own. If you want to be an officer your entire time here, I would submit we have the best officers in the DMV, and we need more of them. I will also say we occasionally have overtime opportunities. Take advantage of them. I've been in 8 unions in my career, and I did not often pass up overtime opportunities. We are doing all we can as chief. Sorry, sir. Yeah, this is not the CFO talking. This is the COO. But going back to that, we're doing all we can, as Chief mentioned, with the academy and hiring to get more officers on, but we need you out there. And I think Chief alluded to the impacts of that. Crime is down on the system. Ridership is up on the system. That has everything to do with the work that MTPD and others do on a daily basis. People feel safe on our system. That is, in part, why they take it, besides the excellent service we provide every day. Life has become very complicated, but I would encourage you all, if you have the time and the ability, get involved in some of the youth program services that Ms. Lewis runs and people like Lieutenant McIntyre volunteer for. Is a far, far younger man. I was involved in a lot of government programs when I was growing up because I grew up in a rough neck of the woods, not here, but in Boston, obviously, based on the accent. I took advantage of a lot of government programs, and especially sports programs. And, you know, oftentimes the police were in my hometown when I was growing up. Sometimes getting involved in programs like that, it gave you a better appreciation for what the police are all about. As a kid, you don't understand that. As you grow up, you do. So I would strongly encourage that. Finally, my brother was in the DEA for 8 years in New York City during the height of the war on drugs. And at his graduation ceremony, the FBI Academy, there was a priest who gave the invocation, and he read the prayer to St. Michael. And it was something that my mother took to heart. But one line in that prayer talks about being our protector. And what I would say to you is, in addition to the customers who feel safe because, in part, you folks are out there, we have almost 13,000 employees at Metro. Sometimes they don't feel safe. And I can tell you, as a former transit employee in Boston, some of my best friends, one of the best friends that the general manager and I have is the former chief of police and the deputy chief of police in Boston. Those folks engaged with their fellow employees, and they made them feel safe, myself included, as a far younger man. Please remember that when you go out there. Engage with your fellow employee. Be there for them. God bless and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dwyer. Appreciate your remarks. And now introduce General Manager Randy Clark. Mr. Clark's he doesn't like when I do his bio, so I'll keep it short.
I worked it out.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, he's been in the industry a little over 20, well, I'll give him a break. A little over 20 years. You know, he's been a great addition here to Metro, and we really appreciate all the support. So without further ado, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Hey, good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? You know, that's good. We got a crowded house. I love to see that. So hard to follow Brian. He just gave away all the money. And told you his brother was a cop, and you know, I'm following. So, you know, well done, Brian. But I'd love to be here with you all today. Want to, welcome all the family, as Brian mentioned. It's so great to see such a large turnout when we do these events. As Brian mentioned, your loved ones are obviously the most important thing to you, but they are part of our family now, and it's really, we run a 24/7, 365 business here, right? And for the families, there's going to be days that are a little rough, and they're going to come home and they're going to need you to be understanding and empathetic on that. There are also going to be days, all the busiest days, all the holidays, all the grill outs, I'm sorry to say, they're going to be working. That's the role we do, right? So you're not going to see them on Inauguration Day, you're not going to see them on July 4th, you're not going to see them, let's go see the cherry blossoms, they're going to be working. You guys are still good, right? You got about 15 minutes to run, so that was the test, Chief. None of them left, so we're good on that. But they're going to need you, right? And our job is to, as Brian said, look after them, provide the best possible place for them to excel, be safe and excel, and make their career really meaningful, and here you can do it. Obviously want to congratulate all of our new graduates, soon to be officers in a few minutes. Your commitment over, 9-month program, 3 jurisdictions, I argue, the hardest police training program in the country. You have to go through all, it seems kind of strange sometimes. You're like, didn't we just do this last week for a different state? And we're trying to work to make that a little more seamless, but it's a big deal you're here, and we thank you for choosing Metro. It's a very noble profession, being a police officer, as Brian mentioned. I have a lot of friends that are police officers and law enforcement and prosecutor world. And you're picking a noble profession, but you're joining an organization where it's really meaningful what you're going to do every day. And it is, in my opinion, the ultimate of community policing. Once in a while, you're in a vehicle, but the reality is you're there to interact with the public all day long, right? You're not cruising 95 looking for speeding tickets. You're interacting with the public. And the best day you're going to have is just telling people how to get around. Because that means, you're not chasing someone and there's no problems. The public is what our business is, helping the public get around, right? And as Brian mentioned, your fellow employees are part of that. So while you're in the police department and there's special powers and roles related to being, public safety and police officer, you're also a Metro employee. And so on a daily basis, a station manager, a bus operator, a custodian, supervisor, you name it, they look at you as not only as there for help, they look at you as a colleague. And working with them and getting this public around safely. I want to recognize, obviously, all of our distinguished guests. Chief, I just take a moment here and recognize the chief and the command staff. This department is really good. When you take this role as a GM, you got a chief, you're kind of like, okay, let's see how this is going to go. Right away, I was like, we got a great chief. And the reason I love the chief so much is there's no ego, there's no arrogance, he's humble, he loves his team, he's a cop all the way through, and he cares deeply about the people he works with. So Chief and the command staff, just thank you for what you do every day. Yeah. Even when you got some GM that thinks he knows what he's doing, giving ideas on texting you from time to time, I appreciate the yes, sir, and then, I also want to recognize our FOP partners, Paul and Brennan. Listen, union and management are never supposed to 100% agree on everything, but we always have to agree to work together. We're all after the same thing, right? Looking after each other, and I've had nothing but respect for our FOP leadership, and we expect that to continue. So thank you for all the work you do. And then Michelle, you're going to hear from our OIG here in just a moment. I actually look forward to her remarks because just an incredible background of experience, and we're very lucky to have her as an OIG. OIG is independent of Metro, and she's here with her whole team to really help us identify risks, try to make sure that people aren't doing waste, fraud, abuse. So we're here with the public's money, and our job is to spend the public's money well to make this community better off, and that's what her job is, and we're really excited that she's on board and she's going to be speaking here today. A couple other quick comments. As I mentioned, graduates, congratulations. To all the officers, detectives getting recognized today for your longevity and your hard work, I really appreciate it. A lot of you I see out there a fair amount, right? A lot of officers in the back I see around all the time, right? What you do every day really matters. And I really appreciate just the sense of pride in what we're doing here. So as the chief mentioned, crime's down 30%. Last quarter was the lowest in 5 years. I asked the chief my first week when I got here, I said, do we have control of the system, chief? And he said, no, sir, we do not have control of the system. That is a, kind of a punch, right? Your first week taking over this big place, and the police chief looks at you and says, we don't have control over it from a public safety point of view. So we went to work, and we went to work as a team. And I am really impressed by the commitment of getting back into point-of-entry policing, as the chief mentioned. Replaced our fare gates, camera system, crisis intervention specialists. We got our bus unit back. Lots of special operations stuff. And it's just the commitment that you're out there every day. And I'm on the system. If you haven't heard during your training program, I'm on the system every day. I want to interact with you. I want to hear what's going on. But I just wanted to recognize you all for what you did. And I'll take this moment between yourselves and some of the members at the back. Just last week at the board meeting and a couple days before that at the U.S. Capitol, this department got recognized with the Congressional Gold Medal for their response on January 6th. And I think it's just incredible. Yes. That horrific day, disgusting day, the men and women of this department immediately responded and protected the Capitol and protected the people in it and our community. And I just have an enormous amount of respect for what you all do every day. Last couple of things I want to mention really here is Brian mentioned crime is down. I just mentioned it as well. Ridership is up. That's how we measure generally what we're doing here at Metro, right? We've led, in the last 12 months, we led the top 40 metro areas of the world in ridership growth. We are slowly but surely getting back, actually quickly but surely getting back to our big ridership numbers. Last week we had a day, we carried 900,000 people a day. We're getting back to those numbers. Weekends we carry more people than before the pandemic. On our bus system, busy days we'll carry about 440,000+ people on our bus system. So everyone thinks about the trains, bus system is gigantic. Moves a lot of people, needs a lot of interaction. We have a big year ahead here at Metro. Yeah, we always have our budget challenges and all this other kind of stuff, and whatever you see in the news, like half of it's whatever, right? And don't believe anything you see on Twitter, unless it's our accounts, and then they're 100% accurate. But for new officers joining, this year is an amazing opportunity for you to learn. We have the inauguration. Well, first, we got to get through the election, okay? And it's all going to be peaceful, and we're going to have a really good, we're having a transition no matter what, so that's all we want, right? Nice transition there. Then we're going to have inauguration, which is our Super Bowl every 4 years, and you're going to learn a lot from your new peers and your supervisors and the command staff about how integral Metro Transit Police is to the successful inauguration, including bringing transit police officers from all over the country to come and assist. Quite an event. Then we're going to have Cherry Blossom. So yeah, you're going to go, oh yeah, I know Cherry Blossom. Yeah, well, taking the family walk around the tidal basin and what we do, different things, so you're going to get through that. Then we're going to have World Pride. World Pride, estimate about 2.5 million people coming to the DC area, late May into June. Then we're going to have some World Cup qualifier games, and then we're going to have July 4th. So I guess Brian's right. There's going to be a lot of overtime opportunity. But what a year to start as a transit police officer, to really get, you're going to feel by next July 5th like you've been at this thing for a long time. I'm going to wrap up with one final comment. Sorry, take a little, maybe a couple extra minutes here. Was your safety is all we care about every day, right? There is nothing that is more, just catches my heart than if I get a call from the chief. If it's late at night, it's Assistant Chief Nader. If it's in the morning, it's the chief. But I'm scared every time I get a call like that because I'm worried that one of our officers got hurt, right? There's unfortunately some dangerous parts of this world, and your job is to help be that wall against that danger. So, and you have officers in this department that have used their service weapon. Hopefully you'll go through your entire career, never touch that service weapon. That will be an amazing career, right? But learn from them, handle that. We have an enormous EAP program, and we care about you. We want you to go home safe every day, learn, be part of a team, and just always tell us how we can treat you better and make you successful here. So congratulations again. Thanks for being here. Congratulations to all of the recognitions for our detectives and officers. Really appreciate all day. And Chief, just a great ceremony, and thanks for having me here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Appreciate your kind remarks. Next, I want to bring up FOP Chairman Colin Doherty for a few remarks. I do want to thank Colin personally and Brandon too for working with us on the Senior Detective and the Master Patrol Officer program. You know, without their input and help, you know, I think most of you all realize that our older program that we had was almost near impossible to make. So we've definitely made it, you know, more accessible. And, you know, really, you know, for the senior detectives and the Master Patrol Officers, for those that you don't know, these are folks that have acquired a specific expertise through experience primarily. And, you know, when an official or somebody's not out there on the scene, they take over. Or if they're detectives, they take over more complicated cases and they work as a team. So the experience that these men and women have experienced, gone through the process is, you know, it's well deserved. So, Colin,
Thanks,
turn
Chief.
it over to you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, good morning, everyone. As always, I'll keep my remarks very, very brief. And Mr. Clark, as we do enter contract negotiations next week, I want you to know every time you said something really good about us, I was taking notes. And that's what we'll start out with next week.
A lot of money in here today.
Yes, yes. We're opening up the purse strings and saying we're great, and I'll go right into contract negotiations, riding that wave. I appreciate that, sir, as always. I'm also fighting off the tail end of a cold, so I hope you guys will forgive me on that. First and foremost, I just want to recognize all of our new master police officers that are seated over there. I want to thank these officers for stepping up and being willing to do a little bit more for this department to make us better. This program's been well over a decade in the making. And I really can't say enough good things about these men and women up here who are stepping into that role for the first time. And I really can't say enough thanks to Chief Anzalo, Mr. Clark, and Mr. Dwyer for their support in making this thing finally happen and be attainable. When we work together, there's very little that we can't accomplish, and everybody seated to my right over here is a great example of that. Second, and more importantly, I just want to take a second to welcome all of our new officers and your families here to the Metro Transit Police. You made a really great career choice in coming to the Metro Transit Police, and I'm thrilled to be working with all of you. You know, we say here the days are long, but the years are short. So I want you to really take some effort to remember today and spend some time thinking about today and remember for the rest of your life, because it goes by in a flash, believe me when I say so. But I can't wait to see you all out there on the street. Congratulations on your journey and welcome aboard.
Thank you, Chairman Doherty, for that. I would now like to introduce our guest speaker, Ms. Michelle Zamarin. Ms. Michelle Zamarin serves as the Inspector General, the IG, of the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority. As the Inspector General, Ms. Zamarin is a senior official responsible for audits, investigations, and oversight of WMATA's activities and operations. The Office of Inspector General, OIG, provides leadership in promoting economy, efficiency, effectiveness, and integrity in WMATA's programs, as well as identifying and preventing criminal fraud, waste, abuse, and employee misconduct. Before her appointment as IG, Ms. Zamarin was a distinguished attorney of the United States Attorney's Office as an assistant United States attorney, where she investigated and prosecuted sex offenses, domestic violence, violent crimes, narcotics trafficking, fraud, and public corruption in both Superior Court and federal court. Ms. Zamarin's leadership roles at the United States Attorney's Office have included Deputy Chief of the Fraud and Public Corruption Section, Chief of the Federal Major Crimes Section, and Chief of the Capital Siege, Assault, and Breach Section. Ms. Zamarin's background and experience include serving as a trial attorney at the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Enforcement Division, clerking on the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeal, and practicing law in private practice at Skadden, Arps, Slate, Meagher, and Flom in D.C. I'm quite sure I mispronounced one of those. She is a graduate of Boston University of Law, where she was awarded a Juris Doctorate degree in 1998. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Michelle Zamarin.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am truly privileged and honored to be here today and to speak at your graduation. Back in 2003, I found myself in a similar position where you are today. That year, along with my own class, I was sworn in as an assistant United States attorney for the District of Columbia. Little did I realize that that group of people would become my lifelong friends. The bond that you are about to form with the women and men sitting to your left and right will last you a lifetime. It will shape your personal and professional journey and is something that you will never forget. Being a law enforcement officer is so much more than a job. It is an adventure that will leave an everlasting impact on you and your family. I can say with confidence that this journey will be nothing but amazing. Throughout my career as a prosecutor, I have had the privilege of working with many outstanding law enforcement officers, including your chief of police. I can still remember when I was what we referred to as a baby prosecutor, and I was handling misdemeanor cases such as drug possessions or simple assaults, and I was able to work directly with new officers just like yourselves. I was so inspired by their commitment to the community, by the care they took in the cases they brought, and by the true dedication they had for their work. These young officers in my class of baby prosecutors, we grew up together. And as time passed, the officers that started with me, they became detectives, they became sergeants, they became leaders, chiefs of their organizations. They all embarked on their journey, though, right from where you are now. And after working for 20 years with many different law enforcement agencies, I have several lessons that I have learned from my law enforcement partners that I would like to share with you. The best officers I worked with have several qualities in common. First and foremost, respect. It's incredible how all of them knew the importance of being respectful to everyone they encountered, their coworkers, the prosecutors, community members, victims, and the defendants who they apprehended. While it's often said that respect must be earned, in your line of work, it only goes one way. The individuals you will come across are often facing difficult times, in need of assistance, and have likely experienced disrespect in their own lives, which may lead them to disrespect others, and most certainly you. As police officers, you are the front lines of serving our most vulnerables in our communities, those people who grapple with the daily struggle of feeling undervalued. Your role is to demonstrate respect, acknowledge their humanity, and make them feel seen, irrespective of their background or behavior. I've witnessed officers being subjected to verbal abuse and yet responding with unwavering respect and kindness, which eventually earned them the respect they deserved. It is truly inspiring and remarkable to see how such a little act can have such great impact. Next, I've learned from those officers was the importance of kindness. I often tell my children when someone is being mean to them that they should kill them with kindness, and they hate when I say that. But I have to tell you, it works. So many people you will meet as officers are not used to kindness, and they won't expect it from you. It often takes a long time to earn a witness, victim, or defendant's trust, but once you do, you will truly be making a difference in their lives. I've watched officers spend endless hours comforting victims, ensuring that they felt like they had someone on their side. But the kindness isn't limited to just victims. Kindness with the people you encounter every day at the Metro. As officers at Metro, you have a very special role in our community. You are the face that people from around the world see. As Metro Transit officers, you get to know and interact with people from all walks of life, from different races, religions, economic backgrounds. You represent not just the Metro, not just Washington, D.C., but as officers in the Capitol, you represent the United States. And you have an important role as an ambassador for our city and country, and the kindness you show to everyone you meet will go a long way. The next quality that I have learned from the best officers I've worked with is integrity. I have seen officers I've worked with who have integrity, they know it is their greatest asset. You must protect it at all costs. Honesty and truthfulness are the cornerstones of our work. It can be challenging at times, and I promise you, you will make mistakes. You may forget to document some evidence. You may forget to give Miranda rights, or you may do something else that costs a case and lets a criminal go free. It has happened to all of us. But the worst thing you can do is to not own your mistakes, to exaggerate or to cover it up. We learn from our mistakes, and mistakes are inevitable, especially in high-stakes situations. But it is crucial to take responsibility for them. As we progress to more complex cases and gain experiences, we reflect on our experiences, on our mistakes, with the mindset of never again. Now, I've had the pleasure of training and mentoring many prosecutors and law enforcement officers over the years, and the advice I always emphasize to them is relevant to you as well. No case is worth jeopardizing your career. No case is worth sacrificing the best job you will ever have. Someday, much like you, you'll have the opportunity to impart lessons on future officers. Embrace these challenges with confidence, knowing that these mistakes will ultimately contribute to your growth and making you an expert in your field. Finally, the most important quality I've learned from officers is the courage that they have. I have worked with officers who have shown me the significant amount of courage it takes to do their job. It takes courage to confront a person you witness committing a crime. It, however, also takes courage to protect a person who spews hatred towards others in the community. The courage you need in policing is not just physical. It's not just about risking your life for others, but it's about the courage of practicing restraint. It takes courage to connect with a person who is suffering from a mental breakdown when he needs help. It takes courage to let a criminal go when pursuing could endanger others. And it takes courage to restrain ourselves in using only the right amount of force necessary to control a dangerous situation. These will all be challenges you will be faced with. Last week, the Metro Transit police officers were recognized for their exemplary service and courage for the actions they took on January 6th. In the last 2 years of my career as a federal prosecutor, I led the team of 80 prosecutors who investigated and tried the January 6 cases. During that time, I watched endless hours of CCTV camera from the Capitol, body-worn camera from the officers who were there, and cell phone videos taken by the rioters. The unwavering strength and courage that were displayed by every officer that day will never cease to amaze me. They exemplified the best of law enforcement that day. Over several hours, our officers, along with all the other officers from the Capital Region, they were attacked. They sustained a range of repeated violent attacks. They were punched. They were knocked unconscious. They were tackled. They were dragged. They were pepper sprayed, and they were assaulted with pipes, poles, and other weapons. But that day, law enforcement responded with bravery and courage. I've had the privilege to speak to many of those officers and to see many of them testify. They were victims that day. They were disrespected, targeted, and attacked by the people they were sworn to protect. Yet they epitomized the best of us when they practiced bravery and unwavering courage. Throughout my years of working alongside with law enforcement officers, I have been continually inspired by their dedication to serving and assisting those in need. Their selfless commitment to being advocates for the voiceless is truly remarkable. I'm genuinely eager to see you thrive in this role and make a positive impact on Metro and in the community. I have no doubt that each of you will bring great pride to to the esteemed officers of the Metro Transit Police Department. Thank you. Sorry, I took some of yours.
Ms. Amory, I would just want to, on behalf, we really appreciate that speech you gave. Definitely appreciate you working with us as in your new role. And I've definitely appreciated working with you over the years. So as a token of our appreciation.
Thank you, Ms. Zamarin. At the beginning of each recruit class, the members select a spokesperson to share a few words at the graduation ceremony. The elected spokesperson for Class 127 is Officer Victoria Robinson.
Good morning. First, I would like to acknowledge General Manager Randy Clark, Chief Michael Gonzalo, Chief Operating Officer Brian Dwyer, Deputy Chief Daniel Alvarez, Deputy Chief Maurice McKinney, Director Chandra Lewis, Mr. McGuire, our guest speaker, Mrs. Michelle Zamarin, and the friends and family of Class 127. Though still a relatively young department, Metro Transit Police has not been spared the fate of losing officers in the line of duty. Please join me in a moment of silence as we remember MTPD officers Harry Davis Jr. and Marlon Morales, as well as 107 officers who were killed in the line of duty this year. Thank you. It is an honor to stand before you to speak on behalf of Class 127, to tell the story of our amazing journey to this point. It's been 8 months, 16 days, 4 hours, and 58 minutes. Yes, we have been counting. It's been a difficult road, but we are here. Today marks the culmination of months of rigorous training, dedication, and unwavering commitment. We have faced challenges, overcome obstacles, and grown not only as individuals, but also as a cohesive team that are ready to serve and protect as Metro Transit Police officers. We started this journey as strangers, but ultimately became a family. That family bond started on a cold January morning at the beginning of what is known as Drill Week, a rite of passage, an experience that will show you who you really are. We were all nervous, unaware of what was in store for us. We prepared and checked each other over and over again. We made sure our uniforms were ironed, we had 2 pins in our 007s, and our boots were shined to perfection. We thought we were squared away. We stood in formation waiting. At 0700, the doors opened, and our drill instructors greeted us in the best way they knew how. Hell officially began. Over the next few days as a class, we were challenged physically, mentally, and emotionally. Sergeant Roseman specifically taught us what discipline is, and that going to the beach is not as relaxing as most are accustomed to. Who would have known that our drill instructors could be so creative by using a deck of cards to teach us a lesson? Just know that front lean and rest isn't any type of rest that you want. The week was difficult, and despite not understanding the purpose in the moment, there were lessons in everything we experienced. We learned the importance of taking care of each other, keeping our composure, never leaving anyone behind, and that we are only as strong as our weakest link. Those were valuable lessons that we needed for what lay ahead. January 16, 2024, the first phase of our academy journey officially began at the Northern Virginia Criminal Justice Training Academy. This first day came with a big snowstorm. Despite the local area being closed, we got a glimpse into what life in law enforcement entails. No snow days, business as usual. Over the next 5 months, we trained vigorously, from morning uniform inspections to long legal lectures, obstacle courses in full duty gear to a gooseneck and control tactics, aiming for center mass and firearms training, testing our combined skills in EVOC, and doing reality-based training. There was a wealth of knowledge obtained. Nothing, though, was more memorable than OC Day. As if being sprayed in the face with an inflammatory agent which causes skin and eye pain, causes temporary blindness doesn't sound bad enough on a hot, sunny day, the decontamination process was even worse. In moments of distress and vulnerability, looking up and hearing your classmates comfort you made the experience better. June 17th was our graduation day from the Northern Virginia Criminal Justice Training Academy. It was bittersweet for more than one reason. It was an end of an era. Class 127 was the last Metro class to attend the academy and walk across the stage. When our academy classmates from other agencies were being sworn in as police officers, we were still recruits with 16 more weeks of training. Without a doubt, Class 127 left a lasting impression and helped solidify a history of excellence for Metro Transit Police at the Northern Virginia Criminal Justice Training Academy. For MTPD, Class 127 earned first and second place awards for EVOC, a top 5 placement for academic performance, and was awarded for fitness excellence in most improved, vertical jump, and bench pressing. Once the Virginia phase was completed, it was time for us to start the DC and Maryland compliance, the second and third phases of our journey. Just when we thought we would have some relief, we were taken for an electrifying ride on the Taser 7. The yell of taser, 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 before feeling the probes of electricity locking up our bodies is one that's burned in our memories. Though it only lasted 5 seconds, I think some of us made it to heaven and back. I never knew that some of my male classmates could scream so high. But we made it through. Over the next 16 weeks, we learned our probable cause misdemeanors, had to write civil citations and criminal citations, conducted more traffic stops, learned lessons in crisis intervention, use of force scenarios, observed autopsies at the medical examiner's office, and much more. All of those added to the skills and knowledge that we have developed along the way. We wouldn't be here today without the work of our training instructors. Thank you for your guidance, wisdom, and patience. You have instilled in us the values of integrity, courage, and professionalism. Your tireless efforts have prepared us for the responsibilities that lie ahead, and for that we are eternally grateful. To our family and friends, your support has been our foundation. Your encouragement and understanding has been our strength during the tough days. We share this accomplishment with you, for without your love and support, this journey would have been far more hard. To my fellow classmates, as we step into our new roles, let us remember the core values that have been instilled in us. Integrity as our guiding principle in every decision we make, courage as our constant companion in every action we take. When you face a situation that tests your resolve, remain steadfast, remain brave. Protect those who cannot protect themselves. Compassion as the heart of our service. We are not just enforcers of the law, we are also members of the community that we serve. We are entering in a profession that demands much of us, but it also offers a profound reward of making a difference in the lives of others. Every day you should strive to be better and to be the person that people turn to in the moment of need. Endeavor to be one who brings calm to chaos, provides hope in despair. This is not just a job, it is a calling. and thank you for answering it with me. I'll leave you with this. Stay in the fight, strive to be better, and always remember that we are 127 and we are one team. Thank you. At this time, I would like to call up Officer Dixon to help present a token of appreciation to Chief Gonzalo on behalf of Class 127.
All right, thank you, Officer Robinson. That was a very good speech. So I'm going to give a speech too. Mine's going to last about 40 minutes since it's going so good. I'm just kidding. All right, before calling up the chief to administer the oath of office, I would like to thank the members of the MTPD Training Division, Background Investigations Unit, WMATA's Office of Human Resources, and all the instructors who played a vital role in the training to get Class 127 to where they are today. Class 127, attention. Prior to Class 127 taking a law enforcement oath of office, it is important they understand what this oath means. An oath is a solemn pledge an individual will make when they sincerely intend to do what is said. The oath is a powerful vehicle demonstrating high ethical standards through long-standing tradition and commitment. This oath is administered to every Metro Transit police officer. Now we will have the oath of office. Chief Anzalo, will you please administer the oath of office to Class 127?
Christina Hudson. Victoria Robinson.
Roy Dixon, Quick Chill Awuna, Sean Fitzgerald, Christian Joyner, Kevin McCullough, Chibuzo Wampo.
Do hereby swear or affirm
Do hereby swear or affirm
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
and will discharge my responsibilities
and will discharge my responsibilities
as a police officer
of the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority
with dispatch, total dedication, integrity and impartiality, and will faithfully perform the duties of that office. I will obtain all evidence lawfully and will work diligently to determine the facts without fear or favor. I will accurately report my findings. Regardless of whether they establish the guilt or innocence of an individual. I will obey as well as enforce the law. Where it is incumbent upon me to do so. I will abide by the rules and regulations. Of the Transit Authority. And I will obey my superiors. In all lawful matters. Of duty performance. I accept the police credential and shield. As being a representative. Of the special trust placed in me. As a Metro Transit police officer.
I believe Officer Robinson already highlighted in her speech, but I just wanted to re-emphasize that Class 127 still had to complete additional weeks after finishing Northern Virginia, 18 additional weeks. In total, Class 127 completed 38 weeks of law enforcement training. This demonstrates their determination, dedication, and desire possessed by Class 127 to become a Metro Transit police officer. We will now present the Metro Transit Police Achievement Awards to Class 127. Deputy Chief Alvarez. Deputy Chief Alvarez will present the first award. This award, named in honor of our first Chief of Police, salutes the officer achieving the highest average academic score in the class. The Angus B. McLean Honor Graduate for Class 127 is, drama, Victoria Robinson. Deputy Chief Maurice McKinney will present the second award. This award, named in honor of our second Chief of Police, and acknowledges the officer with the highest overall physical fitness score. The Burton E. Morrow Physical Fitness Proficiency Award for Class 127 is awarded to Officer Christian Joyner. That's my daddy. I'm sorry, Deputy Chief McKinney and General Manager, can you please come back? No, you come on. Yeah. Deputy Chief McKinney will present the third award. This award is named in honor of the first Assistant Chief of Police and acknowledges the officer with the highest overall firearms score. The Denny W. Stewart Firearms Proficiency Award for Class 127 is awarded to Officer Kevin McCullough. The fourth and final award is the Harry Davis Jr. Marlon Francisco Morales Leadership Award and will be presented by Chief Michael Anzalo. This award is in memory of the two Metro Transit police officers who made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. The Leadership Award is presented to an officer from each graduate class chosen by their classmates as the individual who demonstrates the qualities of sound leadership and commitment to duty. The recipient of the Harry Davis Jr. Marlon Francisco Morales Leadership Award for Class 127 is Officer Victoria Robinson. Chief Anzalo will now present the tri-jurisdictional certificates. Class 127, attention. Each officer is asked to come forward as your name is called. If any family members would like to come forward to take pictures, you are encouraged to do so at this time. Officer Tyra M. Mullen, presented by Sergeant Hodge. What happened? Did I miss something? Presenting Officer Hudson with her tri-jurisdiction certificate will be her father, retired Master Police Officer Edward Cooley with the Metropolitan Police Department, and a cousin, Officer Selima Thorpe, with the Metro Transit Police Department. Officer Victoria O. Robinson. Officer Troy L. Dixon, Jr.
Pretty fun day, huh? Yeah. You got a big celebration coming up? You can't play with that, though. Pretty sharp. Nice to meet you. You one of these?
Officer Fruchu Awano. Officer Chibuzor Wankwu, AKA Chi-Chi.
I'm gonna do you a favor, though. I'm gonna take this off for the photo. There you go. These are my life skills, sir.
Officer Kevin K. McCullough.
Welcome. At some point, we have to push a little.
Yeah, just come to the left a little bit.
You guys will all be as Spanish.
Right there, that's good, that's good.
Thank you for your service. That's great. What year did you leave?
Presenting Officer Joyner with his triad jurisdiction certificate will be his parents, retired Lieutenant Courtney Joyner and Officer Chris Joyner with the Metropolitan Police Department.
I am retired, right? Yeah, we're always looking.
Presenting Officer Fitzgerald with his triad jurisdiction certificate will be his father, retired Commander William Fitzgerald with the Metropolitan Police Department.
Into your scratch out Morehouse's name, okay?
Okay.
That's when you know retirement's good.
This brings us to the end of our graduation ceremony. Class 127, remember your training and remember your oath. Use them to guide you in a successful, safe, and meaningful career in the service to our community. Class 127, welcome to the department. Now we will proceed to the recognition ceremony. Each officer is asked to come forward as your name is called. All friends and family members are invited to come up and take photos. Appointed to the rank of Senior Police Detective, Brandon Twentymont.
There's no time, he has to go back and crack cases.
Nicholas Guerra.
Come on up. There we go. Want to come up here and turn around?
Appointed to the rank of Master Police Officer, Anthony Leo.
Special ops in the family.
Tracy Anderson. Glad you showed up, Jamal. Appreciate it. Ricardo Grant. Officer Aurelio Severio. Sorry, Doug. I'm sorry. I know I messed that up. Ryan Scheuer. John Ubiera. Anthony Milton. Gary Batalico. On behalf of Chief Anzalo, I want to extend a special thank you to the family and friends who have joined us today as we welcome new members to the force and recognize our newly appointed members. Congratulations to you all. Will everyone please stand as the Metro Transit Police Honor Guard retire to colors?
Flag first, ready, step. Shoulder, arms. Ready, step. Present, arm. Order, arms. Ready, cut. Counter column, march. Ready, step.
This concludes our ceremony. Please join us in the lobby for light refreshments.